Hey friends, welcome to this tutorial series. If you're already using Serverpod as your backend for a Flutter app, you're probably using it as an API server. Your Flutter app calls an endpoint and the server responds. But here's the thing, Serverpod ships with something extra that most Flutter developers completely ignore, a fully built-in web server. And by the end of this series, you're going to know exactly how to use it to build a real mobile app analytics dashboard that lives right inside your Plus Serverpod project. So let's start from the very beginning. Before we talk about what the web server is, let's talk about why you would even need one. Imagine you have just shipped your Flutter mobile app. Users are installing it, using it daily. Now you want to answer a few questions like, how many people opened my app today? Which screens are crashing? What is my daily active user count over the last 30 days? To answer those questions, you need something like a dashboard, a visual interface where you can see your app's data at a glance. Now, where does that dashboard live? It can't live inside your mobile app, can it? Your mobile app is for your users. You need a separate web interface, something you open in a browser. The question is now, where do you host it? Traditionally, you would have to set up a completely separate web server, maybe an express.js server or a Django server for Python, or a separate Flutter web app hosted somewhere else. That means a second code base, potentially a second language, a second deployment pipeline, and data going back and forth between two separate backends. Serverpod solves this by building or bundling up a web server right into your existing backend. The same server that handles your mobile app's API calls can also serve a full web interface with access to the exact same database, the exact same business logic, the exact same authentication system. So there's no duplication, it's just one backend with many interfaces. Now, let me paint the picture clearly. When you run a Serverpod project, you're actually running two servers at the same time, not one, right? The first is the API server. This is the one your Flutter mobile app talks to. It lives at port 8080 by default in development. Now, every generated endpoint, your user endpoints, your data endpoints, they all go through this server. Now, the second is a web server. This is the one that browsers talk to. It lives at port 8082 in development. This is where you serve web pages, REST APIs for third parties, even web hooks, and yes, your dashboard. Both servers have access to the same database session, the same ORM, and the same data code. They're just two doors into the same house, something like that. Now, Serverpod's web server is not something they built from scratch with a custom low-level implementation. It is built on top of a framework called Relic. Think of Relic as Serverpod's own purpose-built web server engine, written entirely in Dart, created by the Serverpod team themselves. Relic is what gives the web server its routing system, its middleware support, its typed HTTP headers, and its ability to serve static files efficiently. You'll hear the name Relic come up occasionally as we walk through this series. Whenever you see it, just know it's the engine underneath Serverpod's web server, the thing that does the heavy lifting, okay? Now, so what exactly can you build with Serverpod's web server? There are three main things. First, you can serve web applications, whether that is a Flutter web app, a React app, a Vue app, or even a plain HTML and JavaScript page. The web server can deliver any of those to a browser. Second, you can build REST APIs. If you have a third-party service that needs to talk to your backend over plain HTTP, maybe a payment provider, a notification service, or an analytics pipeline, you can define custom HTTP routes that give you complete control over the request and response format. Third, you can handle webhooks. A webhook essentially is when an external service calls your server to notify it of an event, like when a payment succeeds or when a user signs up through a third-party auth provider. So Serverpod's web server handles that cleanly. So in this series, we're going to build a mobile app analytics dashboard, a real working web interface served entirely by Serverpod. So here's what it will include: a metrics overview showing daily active users, session counts, and crash rates, a chart showing usage trends over time, a list of your tracked apps with their individual stats. So we will build this dashboard 3 different ways through the series to show you all 3 serving strategies. First and mainly as a Flutter web, so you can share models and business logic between your mobile app and your dashboard. Then as a server rendered HTML page using Mustache templates, and finally as a plain SPA single page application to show you how to serve any pre-built front end. But through all of it, the data comes from one place, your Serverpod Postgres QL database. Now, in the next lesson, we're going to set up the project and get familiar with the folder structure that powers the web server. By the end of it, you will have Serverpod's web server running locally and responding to its fast HTTP requests. See you in lesson 2.